So we're here with Brian Sepanzyk from Compulsion, director of Compulsion, which has been doing great on the festival circuit. A very stylish, very evocative kind of nightmare horror film. I saw it at Nightmares Film Festival last year, and it was played here at GenreBlast, and it won for Best Cinematography for a short film. So Brian, how are you doing, and how has GenreBlast been going for you?
Oh man, GenreBlast, pardon my language, has been awesome. It's been super well run. Great programming, awesome blocks of shorts. Caught the one this morning at 11. Wow. Stunning, was awesome. Everyone here is super into all the films and just wants to check it out. It's a great community of filmmakers and fans. Super well done. Yeah, awesome to be here.
So, tell us a little bit about your festival run for Compulsion. What's it been like to take this movie around? What are some of the experiences you've had and memories you've had?
Yeah, it's been great. Kind of like you said, it started at Nightmares, really, is where it kind of kicked off. It's where I met a lot of great other filmmakers. Yeah. Brooklyn we were paired up with She Was So Pretty Too. Very lucky to have that. Jason Tossman set us up with a really great night. And yeah, since then it's been really great. Word kind of got around and gotten a lot of great festivals. So far, so good. I mean, yeah, it's been a good run. Kind of traveling around with it has been a really great experience. And,
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I think just a couple minutes ago I said I think you knew a little bit too much about serial killers. Yeah. And I mean I was joking around
yeah.
about that, but did you do any kind of research, or did you watch? Because I mean there's a shit ton of stuff on YouTube that you can watch, or to get ideas from. Is there anything along the lines that you done of that, or it just come up out of your?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
what?
Well, I mean, I'm sure like a lot of people who are fascinated with that side of like,
yeah,
humanity, where it's like, how does a person drive himself to do that, or herself
right.
to do that sort of thing? And it's, I just thought it'd be kind of a cool thing for me, anyways, just to be like, like take the classic 80s slasher kind of formula, but it's always like the guy breathing in the bushes, and it's all about everyone else, and that's all you really know about it. But it's like, what if you actually followed that guy? How would you live with yourself?
Right.
And try to bring some humanity to it, but still, pay, homage to the classic slasher. And
how did you get the guy that played the serial killer? How did you get him ready for that?
Oh, he was already ready.
He was already ready for it. Okay.
He's the singer of this band. There's a hardcore band from Vancouver called Baptist, and he's the front man for that. And it's like primal, just super energetic, just punches you in the face every time you see him live. And
right.
Everyone that leaves that is like, that singer is nuts. Like, he just looks you in the eye and he's just screaming his guts out from like the innermost core. And so I was like, I'm writing this movie. I think he might be into it. And he's like, I want to do acting. Like, I'm totally into it. And,
right.
From then it was just like, oh, it'd be perfect. But it was I knew he could do the crazy parts, but it was like when he had to do the, show the humility and like the humanity, I was like, I don't know if he could do it. And that was all on set. He was just like, he was down to do it from the start. And then when it came time to do it, he just nailed it. And we were just, wow, it was awesome.
So what, I don't know how to word this. What do you think you achieved with this film as far as what you were trying to say? Okay, so the way you envisioned it versus the way it came out, how much of that was the same? How much of it was different? And do you feel like you achieved what you set out? Somebody's screaming downstairs, which is, I guess, perfect for this interview.
Compulsion down there.
Compulsion.
Yeah. 100% achieved, I think, what we were trying to do, and that was, like I said, just trying to do a classic slasher story, do it a little more updated, and just kind of, it's nothing that's going to be crazy new, but you try and do it a different take and update it a little bit. We really want to express the score a lot and just have that marriage of classic slasher with a new telling, and I think to Andrew's the lead, to his credit, he really elevated the film with what you expect and what came out on screen. Because
we got so many submissions that they say it's an homage and a throwback to 80s slashers, and they weren't. Yours was.
Right. Cool. That's awesome.
So, yeah, I mean that's just compliment. So
They
that's
just
awesome.
they felt hollow.
Thank you.
Yeah,
They
it
felt
was
empty.
nothing
Right.
to 'em.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm a big. I love 80s slashers, and I've probably seen more than the common goer.
Right.
So, and that's what got me about it, because I've seen all them, and I felt that in what you made.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Well, I mean, you know, they nailed it in the 80s, so
Right,
there's not
right.
much to do, you know.
Oh, yeah,
if you're going to do that, it's already been done so many times. I mean, well, already.
Right.
So, yeah, it was a gamble for sure to try and see if it would actually land with people, and I'm super thankful that it does, and it's resonating, and
Cool.
yeah, really happy with it. So.
Talk a little bit about the score and a little bit about the cinematography. I mean, they're both excellent and some of the best at the
Awesome.
festival this year.
That's
Talk
really
about
cool.
how you got those together and pulled it off.
Yeah, really cool story. The whole inception of the film was actually my friend Nick and I. His name's Nick Yakishin. He's one of the greatest drummers of all time. And I mean that, he's insane. He plays for his band Baptist as well, and this band Sumac, and we've been friends for a while. We have a common love of John Carpenter and all things kind of slasher.
Definitely.
And we were just like, you know, it'd be really fun to branch out instead of playing this heavy stuff. Let's do some electronic, you know, let's try our hand at doing some of that John Carpenter stuff and do a band that way. And as he had a bunch of songs already, so as he's playing it, I was like, oh man, it'd be cool is if we shot some scenes and screened it live, so we almost like scoring it live, so we have like projection of it in the background, like we're doing some slasher kind of stuff. And then he just came up with more and more, and I was like, oh my god, like this would be cool, that would be cool. And it's like, well, if we're gonna do that, why don't we just make a short film so we can submit it and get, you know, hopefully people will watch it. And that's kind of how the whole thing started. It was just like, oh, right, like, yeah, this, you know, he's outside as he's just murdered someone, and it's just like that cool scene, pull back, cuts to something else, and then we just tied it all together and made a story out of that. And so that was a fun way. I've never really done that before, kind of written around the score, but that's what really drove it. And then Sasha, who's the DP, I was working on set in Vancouver on feature films for a while, and he was a camera operator that we just kind of connected with over the years. He's a super talented guy, and he did some videos for me early on, and then I approached him with this, and he was thankfully gung-ho because he's always getting asked to do stuff, and he's like, okay, he's like, he kind of knew the style of it, so he's like, okay, let's do it. And then once he got in, I think he was really hooked, because it was it was a chance to like, no, let's light this different. Like, let's think of a nightclub a whole different way, or an alleyway, and make it really dynamic colors. So he was really, I think, from that point on, once he knew the design of it all, he really jumped in and went for it. And thank God, he's a really talented guy. So I lucked out.
So after Compulsion, is there anything that you're working on now? Maybe turning this into a feature, or moving on to something completely different? What's in the works for you right now?
Feature, I mean, I'm sure is.
I think you should definitely do a feature of it.
I would love to.
Explore a little bit more of who he is and
Right.
his tortured mind, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I would love
definitely.
to, for sure. I mean, like with so many filmmakers, you know, as you know, it's what's available for resources, and you know, not unfortunately, but a short is more attainable for
Right.
what you can ask people for free time and
Yeah.
with what you can get. So, I mean, I have future ideas, and I'd love to make Compulsion a feature. I've got a great idea for it, but for budgetary reasons and resources right now, I've got another
I think we
idea.
all struggle with that. As
Right,
filmmakers.
yeah, of
That's
course,
the one thing I
everyone.
always hear. You know, budget. I need the money. You know, budgetary restrictions.
Well, I mean, it's like you can have the money for it, but I think it more so than anything is asking people's time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, can you do this for me? It's like, okay, I can give you like weekends every now and then, but it's like feature. It's like, can you give me, I don't know, 2 months of your weekends?
Because if you're an
'Cause you're
independent
working-
filmmaker, most we all have normal jobs through the week. You know,
Exactly.
trying to pay the bills. And,
Yeah.
And I've run into that a lot too. Well, you know, I can do it this Saturday and Sunday, but I can't do it next Saturday, but I can do it Sunday, and then the weekend after that I can do it this day, but I can't do it that day.
Totally. And
Yeah.
and I
You
understand
have to
it.
work around their schedule.
Yeah, and me
Yeah.
too as well. You know, I got a daytime job, and it's
Right.
working around that.
As a
So-
serial killer.
Well, at least just researching it.
We'll go into that right now. Yeah.
No comment.
So Brian,
yeah.
thank you so much for joining us for this little intimate chat in the projection booth of the
Thank
Alamo
you.
Draft
Can
House
you get-
Winchester.
Can you get a picture of the carpet?
Yeah,
Did we get some of this?
Let's get some video of the carpet. This is what we're on right now.
Oh my god.
Is this sweet ass carpet?
This is what it's all about.
So This would fit in Compulsion as a tribute to The Shining.
Well, I'm thinking so.
Yeah.
We might have a scene in here. We'll just come down to Winchester, Virginia for when we shoot the feature. And who knows? Who knows what will happen?
I like it. It's intimate.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks, Brian.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys.
man, we
Appreciate
love
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Awesome to be here.
Yeah.